I added it onto I added it as an emote because of a bit on Del_Lexi's channel. Look what a Jake thing. What have you seen? They give the 180 stream streak. Oh my god. Who is she?
Spin!
Who is she? Because I pointed out how it was giving E.T. the extraterrestrial, and then someone had edited the eyes and the lips on it, and I was like, if someone does this, I'll edit it as an emote. The funny thing is, I don't think it even scans particularly well. I think the eyes and the lips need to be a little bit bigger for it to be clear. Hold up. Rich, thank you for subscription for 37 months. Enjoying the unique with you, Sweet Bean, 3 whole years. My god. The spilled coffee perfectly summarizes the sudden heat wave pretty easily. There's a reason why, like, this week for lunch, I decided to do a smoothie instead of, like, make anything that requires heating up. Which does mean I'm like white girl maxing. Okay, well, I am noticing a ever so slight minor thing that I need to fix. But it's like not that big of a deal. It's one of those things where it's like, I think I could probably get away with, like, excuse me, that's not the right tool. There you go. Just kind of like help symmetrify. That's not a word. Symmetrify is not a word. Okay. But yeah, mostly we're gonna be like lining and painting this guy. I say painting, but it's mostly coloring. I feel like painting is very specifically like rendering. Like if I say painting, I feel like it's like it kind of has to mean specifically rendering. Welcome on in, Big O. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Could I shout for Big O Luxray if one of my mods is available? How you holding up? Also, welcome on in, Embellis. Good to have you. Embellis was there for the... Actually, Embellis, I think, was the person who made the... Embellis made that. That's Embellis's fault. Yeah, I was. Listen, I see a dumb thing I can do, and I'm like, I'll do it. If it doesn't break anything. I saw a cool ink color, and it's called Embers of Time from the Ferris wheel press. My Chronomania is making me crazy for it. Chronomania feels like it's like obsession with time and not color. Because what's the chroma? It would be Chromamania, wouldn't it? Like chroma specifically color? I'm to blame there. Oh, absolutely. But how you doing, Embellis? Let's start. You're doing AC? Yeah. We've had this. I swear to God, we've had this conversation. It's happened a couple of times, but no, I'm doing AC and I'm excited about it. I'm mostly giving you Dookie. My memory has been pretty shot these last few months. Understandable. I don't blame you at all. Hold up, let me check real quick. Okay, so the things do extend beyond, like they go far enough where like they cover the eye. Is that a crow who left the bread out in the window open? Welcome on in, Dalos. Gotta obviously be a shout for Dalos as well. I'm sorely tempted to do a last minute AC, but that would be a bad financial call. Hey, we're heading towards like complete market failure. It's probably better to you know, give your finances a little bit of consideration. I ain't your dad. But like I do think it's probably worth giving a little bit of consideration there. Starky streams always have the best music. Noogie Bird, do not Noogie Bird. Bird has done nothing to deserve this. Starky, if it wasn't obvious already, I'm incredibly fascinated with time. Well, you were talking about color, which is why I'm like thrown off. These are shouting, honey, no problem. Welcome on, Ability. Glad to have you. All right. I'm doing the thing where like I was like, I'm just gonna inspect my line art or my sketch, and now I'm like getting precious with it, which is a sign that I need to start fucking actually doing the goddamn lining. Yeah, but the packaging is all time-based. I need it. Fair enough. Another one to add to the list of people who are obsessed with Jotaro Kujo and Dio. I just spent next week in Texas for work, and I'm debating how much furry gear I bring with me. I mean, what is there? I mean, you probably get away with just like bringing the head and hands. You know, like if you really want to like do something furry-ish. Okay. It's not even JoJo's related. I know, but like I feel like when it comes to like messing around with time, JoJo's is like the first thing. Like that's I don't want to say ground zero, but like that is the beginning point of every conversation. Is cold brew tea a thing? It is. Also, welcome on in Camp. Cool. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Gonna be in Dallas, so it's tempting. I mean, what is there something going on in Dallas right now that would be like, oh, this would be great for doing furry shenanigans? Is Texas Furry Siesta happening? Because I know that that's different than Texas Furry Fiesta. They're like different unrelated organizations, even though they're literally like exactly one letter away from each other. Here, let me up. There we go. I came up with a substance that's just anti-entropy in physical form for a comic idea. I mean, entropy is an interesting concept. Damn it! It ends literally just before I arrive. That's extremely unfortunate and also a little bit funny. That would have been silly. It would have been silly. All right, guess I got to do AC. That's a joke. This is a joke. Do not do AC. That was a joke. It was a joke. I'm joking. Don't come to AC. I will be like, I won't be like, I'll be like, man, it's good to see you, but also, you better be taking care of yourself, and then I bap you. It's supposed to be some of the Amber Gemstone. What's the one that isn't it like the was it there's I feel like there's something like regarding time and opal. But Starky, how else will I assuage my guilt for supporting the finance markets? By not being crushed beneath them when they inevitably fall. In like at most like 1 to 2 months. I have to throw money at gay artisans. Futurama opal. Well, there's opal's like a weird thing in general. Because like there is apparently like some connection there. Because like Futurama like is a smart show about stupid people. Is I believe how the comparison goes. All right, we're getting real fine with the canvas. Okay, we're in backup queue territory, and I'm like, the backup queue, mediocre. I ain't here for it. Hosier? Is Hosier the most, like I love Hosier, but like also I feel like I couldn't name a single album. I love like he's got like a 10,000 singles, and I love that for him. 10 o'clock before I sing the world. No, you don't got to tell. How do you sleep so well? You need to live a lie and go to bed before the daylight. Mustache. Actually, this it might be like because like we're kind of like trying to. It's almost like we're using these to like indicate like how bushy it is, slash like how short the individual fibers of the mustache are. So it actually makes sense for them to be like a little bit shorter lines. I have a question about personas that are goo or nanobot based. Do they still burp or fart, or are they burp and fartless because they don't have the same body processes that make the gases? I mean, you could probably like trap gas because you are nanomachines and then use that to recreate the effect of a burp, but they wouldn't be like a thing your body just does naturally. I need to figure out what for goo, they probably blorb or blurp. But no, that's my headcanon for Starky at least. Admittedly, I do kind of want to work on my, because like I want to work on the piece I was working on for Bran and Dr. Wolfwalker, but I also like want to work on my shark friend, my shark sona. Sweet as a vine, sweet as a grape. Sorry, probably just blubs. What is a blub? To tank my whiskey neat, my coffee black and my bed at 3. You're too sweet for me. A sound in a bubble, sound of a bubble in thick mud makes. I could see that. How viscous is Starky? Depends. Depends on the mood, the circumstance. Oh my god! Welcome on in, Ambrose. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. How you doing? How you holding up? I see you're choosing violence today. Okay, Starky. There's a deal with this one. I am horrified already. We've reached the bargaining stage of the fucking the silenced butts. Just lay on Starky and you'll find out how viscous. Essentially, you have to track how many times it happens. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how likely that is to happen. I'm art, so like, yeah, like it's one of the things where it's like, even setting aside the art, like this is there is a very real possibility that like with the stream happening, chaos will hit in the middle of one of them and it'll just slip by me. I'll try my best, but I make no promises. Does that mean if we can hit Starky with a heat gun, I can make Starky into asphalt? You will get hit by your own heat gun because I'll grab it and beat you with it. No, Chaos is busy making dinner. They can't be hit. They can't hit right now. But I'll give it a try. I'll try my best to keep track of it. Oh, you don't know how accurate you're being right now? Ambrose, what do you know about my soda that I don't? I have to eat fajita filling with a spoon because I did not check if I had a fork before starting the dishwasher. You can just pull one out and like use some some dish soap. Also, it's like not that big of a deal to eat fajita stuff with a spoon. Nope, dishwasher started. You can stop the dishwasher. I know something you don't. And what would that be? Nope, dishwasher started. The most, respectfully, the most autistic coded sentence I think I've seen in my chat. Because it's like, well, you know, the process has started. I cannot stop it. Well, that would ruin the whole point of a secret. Starky Amaze. Welcome on, Pixel Man. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I gotta say, I love my chat because y'all are neurospicy as fuck, and I think that's part of why you vibe with me. We have some neurotypical folk here, which is startling. Saying hi from work. Hopefully work's going well. Hopefully you're doing well, though, Pixel. Pixel, are you by chance going to be at AC? Oh, whoopsies. No, unfortunate. I will give hugs on your behalf then. I'm trying to remember if I've seen you at like at any convention I've been to. The red flag song always makes me think about the roller reversal version where the blink is in Morse code perk. Why are you blinking so much? I've got something in my eye. Here, let me get it out. No, thank you. I don't want to die. Bonjour, sirs, blinking at me. Is this because your date is a freak? No. Okay, then. Bon appetit. AC is hard for me for the 4th of July. That's understandable. My family has not celebrated 4th of July in, like, at this point, like, almost a decade, so... you know... But, like, I definitely understand how it's, like, not, you know, not everyone necessarily has, like, that going for them. Mostly because, like, my mom, who is the major, like, family event planner, she prefers to spend her 4th of July taking care of people. I think in large part it's because of, like, her history with psych, and she knows that, like, a lot of bad shit happens on the 4th of July. And so, like, it's one of those things where it's, like, it's almost like, you know, you're so used to, like, the bad stuff happening that you forget how to celebrate a thing. It's hard to get days off next to major holidays. That is honestly entirely fair.
Rats, we're rats, we're the rats.
Don't mind me, just DMing the goo.
Am I being goo DM'd? Welcome on, Matthias. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. But yeah, that's like one of the only upsides of working contract is I basically tell them, like, I don't have to get approval for time off because I don't get paid for it. I don't get paid time off, so I just take time off whenever I want. And the incentive for me to not do that is I want to continue to eat food and have an apartment to myself. So, you know, I'm trying to think if I've, like, had a proper vacation since I started working. Start looking DMs. Let's see. Red flags in reverse. Oh, hold up a moment. I just realized also, Ambrose has sent me the thing. Okay. Okay, but this is a classic. This is a classic. This is a classic hour of silence, but one. I'll bump up the volume a little bit. I love Tom Cardy. Tom Cardy does some really, really good music. All right, we got hour of silence, occasionally interrupted by fucking ball. She's going to. This is to some degree like me messing with the textures, like, you know. All right. This is to some degree like a little texture studies as well. I think that's the thing with like art. It's like there's so much to do that like even if you're drawing the same thing over and over again, you can start experimenting with like how you want to do various things. All right. There's some shit going on here with the nose. They need to like. Okay, wait. I think I cooked it. We're cooking. We're cooking. Just like round that edge out a little bit. Thank you, Matthias, for the 7 stream streak, though. So yeah, it is wild to me though that we're literally getting fucking Deltarune Chapter 5 next week, aren't we? It's literally next week, i.e. the week before I I go to AC. So I have to choose if I'm going to start Deltarune Chapter 5 before AC or if I'm going to, because like it's going to be my Thursday game for a bit. Just to say, like, for probably because like so far every like all of them have been like only a couple of streams. Deltarune AC. I swear to God. And here's the fucked up thing is like, I could get spoiled for Deltarune Chapter 5 at AC. The world that's around us is pretty amazing, but how does it work? It must be complicated. The secret is the world can't. Okay, that's 2. The thing works together. Also, you're planning for MFF this year? I'll definitely be. I'll be going to MFF. When the tree spreads the seeds that have fallen, everything works together. The little elephant, the littlest fly. The gophers underground, the birds in the sky, and every single cricket, every fish in the sea gives what they can and get what they need. I love Bo Burnham. It's how the world works. From A to Z, facing the worm in the dirt. That's how it works. Quite alive. It's similar to a constant state of sleep paralysis. And how it works. Boy. Good, I'll text you later for sure. Say this. All right. The simple narrative taught in every history class is demonstrably false and pedagogically classist. Don't you know the world is built by blood and genocide and exploitation? Welcome on, Zephyr. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Jolie functions to separate the word. Gigantic, thank you for the tier subscription for 32 months. Enjoy the activity. What's your Sweet Bean?
17 dead.
Poverty's inherently theft, and neoliberal fascists are destroying the left, and every petition free cop on the street protects the interests of the pedophilic corporate elite. That is how the world works. That is how the world works. How are you doing, Gigantic? We do a show for Gigantic when my Muzz is available. This song was made in like 2021, by the way. It has aged incredibly well, which is to say the reality has aged incredibly poorly. Well, come on, though, Shannon. Go like a Sweet Bean. Okay. That's Hopefully you enjoyed how the world works. All right, let's put on, because we got a couple of songs in the queue now. Is this... Okay, the song was just a little bit quiet. Man, the world sucks a little bit. I don't enjoy how the world works. You know, it's a pain to wear shiny with long hair. What's up with the ball? Hour of silence, but... What? But what? It's an hour of silence occasionally interrupted with the sound of getting hit by a dodgeball. That's so for Zephiel, that's a redeem I have on my channel where people can force me to play an hour of silence but video. And then for Oceano, it's hour of silence but the sound of ball. It's Happy International Day of Latex. Oh yeah, it's Happy International Day of Latex for those of you. For those of you whomst. Oh, I never looked that far down. I do have some praise here ones. That's fair. Oh, fun. Someone missed being bullied by stronger men. I see. It wasn't me. Look to Ambrose. Ambrose the Synthcario did this to us. That's number 3. Welcome on, Big Bird. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. This is kind of me just figuring out how I want to draw like a nostril. Okay, wait, I'm kind of cooking. Kind of cooking. Welcome on in, Big Bird. How you doing, you sweet bean? Hold up, I actually think I fucking cooked on this. Hold up, I kind of cooked. It actually looks kind of good. I think I just feel like I need to thin out the like line art here. And then add like a little bit of the shape back. This is wild, actually. I think this is a sign that I need to start doing more with like light and shadow. And start including like baking that into my like line art a little bit more. And I guess to be fair, this is more like a sketching thing. Okay, so I got the near nostril. What's this, the farther away nostril? Okay, they're kind of just holes. Okay. Welcome on, Yonu. Glad to have you, sweet bean. How you holding up? Wow. What happened? I'm okay, just EP. I mean, it is, from my understanding, is like it's pretty late for you over there, right? Because I want to say you're somewhere over in Europe. Okay, that's fuck. I've already lost track. Okay, so that's 4, and I think we were at 3 previously, so we're at 7. And happy to see Burb Friend. How's it going? It's going all right. Tempted to go nap now. Yep, Southeast Europe. Unfortunate. Well, hopefully you're like, you know, at least like comfortable, especially with things having been somewhat chaotic in that region for a while now. But you have a track. Someone stole mine. You gotta. I had a train of thought, but then someone stole it. But no, I'm doing alright, all things considered. Definitely still like in the perpetual struggle of like, you know, trying my best to maintain. I live in an EU country. Don't worry. I suppose that's fair. You know, that makes things, you know, means things are probably at least somewhat stable over there. Mine was derailed a while ago, and the other is going down every possible sliding. I saw a post about halftime show, and they got the tiger dancers from Zootopia on stage, but the suit looks a little derpy. I mean, to be fair, I would rather have like a silly looking suit than them trying to go like hyper real. I guess to be fair, like in terms of suits, hyper realistic suits can look good. I'm just like over the hyper realistic, like, you know, animation. Welcome on to Fizz. Gonna be a sweet bean. If one of my mods is available, can we just shout for Fizz Tiger? How you doing though? I'm currently kind of futzing around and exploring with art. Okay. So this ended up being basically just like a contiguous line, and then honestly, we made the suits look like the movie I'd swoon over him way more than now. That's fair. But how you doing, Fizz? We're vibing. It's a comfy Monday. It's a little bit, you know. Usually Mondays tend to be kind of like more laid back, but so far it's been like very very relaxed here. Welcome on in, Sorrel. Good to have you. How you doing? Let's see. Kind of like that. Like the tigers in the movie are super handsome. What? What is this? Welcome on, Instinctive. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. I'm skipping. Tyra Banks' homemade song? I don't know. I don't know anything about Tyra Banks. I'm about to get canceled for not knowing Tyra Banks. Welcome on, Cynic. How you doing? Is your Monday chill nonchalant? My Monday's been a vibe so far. Admittedly, I have to fight my blender to free my lunch. Because this week, instead of doing something like cooked, I'm doing I'm going full white woman mode, and I'm making smoothies. And honestly, it's surprisingly good. Definitely like better for like a warm day like this for sure. The big thing is they don't necessarily fill as much as I would like. So I would need to probably grab like protein powder if I was going to do it again. I don't know, that feels wrong, right? It feels wrong to like put protein powder in a like a smoothie, like without the intent of it being like a workout thing. But I would just need something to kind of like fill out the. Okay, that's number 8. I mentioned the post. I mentioned earlier at the start stream was getting ratioed in the ground past hell. Context: Tyros wrote a book a decade ago called Model Land, where 4 women had to become supermodels to convince supernatural trade to save the world. She then proceeded to make a song to promote the book. It's homemade. Okay, I actually respect that then. It definitely explains why it sounded the way that it did. Okay, I've spent the entire time just drawing the mustache and nose. To be fair, I think my lining is improving. It's just coming at the expense of, like, my ability to get things done in an expedient manner. A small niche of the internet has rediscovered the song, including me. This is also, isn't this song from Persona? So with the news that Persona 6 is green, we have what? Yellow, blue, purple, green, and red covered? Persona 4 the animation? Okay. I definitely know yellow, red, and blue are covered, and now we've had green. I don't know what the first two colors were. Think of the hydrate. Or if they even had, like, associated colors, because it seems like a stylistic thing they might have added later. Think of the stretch and the save and the hydrate. I don't know. I've never played a Persona game. The only thing I know about Persona is that apparently it is the death knell of a gacha game. Or if your favorite gacha game does a Persona crossover, it's over. You have purple, red, blue, pink, yellow, red again, and now green. There were no color schemes in P1 and P2 to my knowledge. Apparently they were purple and red. I feel like Persona 1 and 2 had to have been like PS1 games, right? At the rate at which they like don't make those things, I feel like Persona 1 and 2 had to have been like they were what's it called? Yeah, PS1 like titles. Yes, if your game is not strong enough, a collab with Persona 5 would kill them. Well, I think the thing is, like, the reason like they do the collab with Persona 5 to like resurrect interest, but like it's by that point it's too late. I don't actually have like that many strong opinions or like that deep of a knowledge of gacha games, to be fair. The only thing I know is the things that people tell me about gacha games, and that apparently Genshin Impact has the fucking bloodiest gacha drama of all time. Sometimes the games seem to be going well and poof. Rest in peace, Galia Lost. No more cool dragons. That one was Nintendo's fault, right? Like, Nintendo was, like, suing... Oh, no, I might be thinking of something else. I know that there was, like, like, Nintendo, like, did a lawsuit over controls to help a game, and Dragalia Lost was in some way involved, but I think it might have been, like, the benefactor of that lawsuit. I don't know. Gacha games are... Listen, I got my gacha games that I like, that are full of the character designs that I enjoy. That's number 9. And I'm gonna stick to those. I'm gonna stick to those because, like, they are full of you know, they're full of designs that I think are cool. Honestly, I really like Crash Fever, and the gameplay was pretty interesting. Just like tap and hope the thing match for a big combo. Starky, you can detect the presence of MiHoYo games like by using ultraviolet light, for it leaves a trail of blood and cum. Sometimes also shit. Because like I've seen a video that breaks down the fucking, like, some of the Genshin drama that happened, and I'm like, my god. Because, like, it's one of those things where it's like, Genshin got super popular because of the pandemic, but also some people apparently didn't realize the pandemic stopped because they just stayed online forever. Well, come on in, Slip Bean. I'm glad I get Sweet Bean. Like, that entire fucking, like... God bless. But no, I like I said, I you know, I think Genshin Impact's still going strong. It's weird that the Mandemic made people notice the little things in life. The Mandemic sounds like it's a fucking, like, a lesbian love story. It's like it's like the main character and her female love interest have to fight off an entire swarm of sex crazed men. Starkey was the most it was most people's first gacha, and it was super popular. Such levels of addictions and parasociality have never been achieved on such global scale. So it's gonna be fine. It's doing still pretty well for itself. Because, like, I feel like it's like gacha machines are something of like infinite money machines. Honkai Star Rail cashes in more money, but Genshin Impact is still doing just fine. I suppose that's fair. People are more about the turn-based you know, thing on their phone than the the real-time action thing, which makes sense. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail is the turn-based one, right? Sometimes I wish I had more heat resistance for the summer months. Be sure to hydrate, and be sure, if you're on SSRIs, be sure to you know, consume additional salt because apparently it like reduces our ability, like the body's ability to retain, you know, what's it called? Electrolytes. Turn-based allows for worse power creep. You know what? That makes sense, actually. I think the hydrate. Because it's, you know, if it's like a real-time action, there becomes like an element of like skill about it that you can like optimize around. Can I get more electrolytes from licking other guys? If you can find other guys who are willing to be licked, then go for it. Augusta Rail has acquired a reputation for how horrid it is. I mean, that sounds about right. To be fair, I'm trying to think of like a game that doesn't have like, you know, like that isn't. I try to think of like a gacha game I've heard about that isn't infamous for having terrible power creep. And I don't think that exists. I don't think a normie gacha game exists that doesn't have awful power creep. That's like one of the things like I you know, from a game design perspective, I am genuinely kind of impressed. Also, I think that was number 10. I'm genuinely impressed the degree to which like Another Eidos has managed to like keep their designs keep creating designs that are both appealing and also like, you know, they don't necessarily step on each other's toes. I think in part because it doesn't balance around the optimal strategies. Arknights kinda, it barely does have. I was about to say, it's like Arknights, it was one of these where it's like I feel like if I mentioned Arknights, I was gonna get someone being like, no, Arknights is horrible power creep. You know? I mean, the big reason I would be playing Arknights is just for his name is not the Mountain, right? The fucking the tiger guy. Mountain. Okay, it is Mountain. Texan White Tiger. I respect it. I respect it. It might be a normie, you know, a gacha game targeted more towards the normies, but I respect it. Also, it'd be funny if people, somebody game where no playable character cannot be more powerful than the OP character they had accidentally made and can't nerf because the character is way too popular to be nerfed. By the nature of its gameplay and level design, Arknights does not have actual power creep, but it's gotten close multiple times. I feel like if you look at like Tokyo Outer School Summoners, I don't think has had like power creep, but that's just because no one fucking cares about the gameplay. People only give a shit about the game for its story, and I kind of like, I'm kind of right there with them. But yeah, like Another Eidos doesn't really have power creep. So far there hasn't been too much power creep in XXL with Fia's. I think the only thing about XXL with Fia is where I'm kind of to be fair, I think they're genuinely being like extremely like reserved about like how they handle characters, because so far we've only gotten one Aether and one Nether character with giant fluffy like Luck Beast Man and a Nubaru the respectively. Which I mean, like, I'm like surprised because like those are the only two characters we have of those respective typings. Here's Mountain's voice. Blake Hubena. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I respect it. Woofy, it seems like you can make an OP character if you put the time and effort to level up their stats. I don't like how the ball is slowly approaching. It's definitely taking up more of the screen than when I first watched it. Woofy, it seems like you can make an OP character if you put the time and effort to level up their stats. Oh, for sure. I can't wait for it to hit the screen and then my fucking... I explode. Ball approaching. I need you to stop turning things into stuff. the Webster Dictionary talking to millennials and Gen Z. Stop turning everything into a fucking suffix. We got splaining, we got approaching, we got James jars. What is going on with? That's weird. Why is it? All right, you joined just in time for me to get hit by a dodgeball like 6 times. I think we're at 17 now. Welcome on, Raiders. Glad to have ya. For those who don't know, I'm StarkyMorph, big chaos girl internet. Friday streamer live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. EST. Mostly I play indie games. However, the last 2.5 years we learned some art. So currently, I'm drawing a Pandorb. I'm turning a panda into an orb. The chroma key. There's no chroma key element there though, which is weird. Oh wait. Oh, hold up. Yeah, it's the green. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, I have green chroma keyed out. I hadn't thought about that. Can you survive Model Land? Can you without hot ice cream? What is Model Land? Is this what we were talking about earlier with the Tyra Banks thing? Oh. Where it's like you have sending it to you, Starky. Yes, the chroma keyblade. Oh yeah, that's the one. I got introduced to it. Yes, the song you skipped. Listen, I didn't have any context for it. Steve, think of the follow. Good blood check. What have you seen, Bean? It is Tyra Banks's fan fiction. My God. Okay, I'm curious. So I guess time to wait in line for 2 hours for hot ice cream. Can't believe they skipped your girl Tyra B. Oh, you know, if there's like a video explanation, or if it was just the Tyra Banks homemade song. But no, hopefully you're doing well. I was lurking in your stream earlier where you were talking about potentially going to the Chicago Pride. It's a song and also a book and also a theme park. Interesting. Fascinating. It's a multimedia experience. Is Tyra Banks the one that had a... Is she the one who had a stroke on television, or am I thinking of someone else? Wait. Is Tyra Banks the one who's terrified of the fuck, what's it called? What's she call it? That's Wendy Williams? Oh, that's right. It's Wendy Williams is the one who's obsessed with someone coming to get her. The killer, that's right! Tyra Banks, she made hot ice cream. Welcome on in, Bacon Magician. Glad to see you, Bean. Oh, the killer is Wendy Williams. Shirley's bird. My shirt has been taken from me. I don't know talk show hosts. I know them exclusively by the shit that the internet tells me about them. So I know Wendy Williams via The Killer and the fact that she had a stroke on live television, which was extremely upsetting to watch. Out of curiosity, I did look it up and I'm like, oh God, that's actually... Fuck, okay, we got hit with like 7 earlier. So we're at 18 and that's 19. There's a cute snippet with Fia, but fucking mean. I did not know about that. Oh my God. I wouldn't recommend looking, like, it's not like bad, but it definitely is upsetting. Welcome on in, Rev. That'll be a sweet bean. But yeah, if you gotta do like the post-stream care, if you had to go like take care of some stuff, I appreciate you so much for bringing your community over. I'll be sure to treat them to the finest hot butter ice cream, I suppose. Take the hot butter, mix it with the ice cream. We call it heat and sip. I'm very hungry. Gotta get some leftover curry. Hell yeah. Granny Cream's hot butter ice cream. You take the hot butter, you mix it with the ice cream. You see it on your screen. Isn't there a sequel to Hypnospace Outlaw? I can't date a fluffy furry because otherwise I'll literally never stop snuggling them. Understandable. Can't wait till I have a house. Gonna get like 4 doggos. Brown butter, no, hot butter ice cream. It's ice cream, but it's made with hot butter, so it's served hot. They call it heat and sip. I think they're making, okay, they're actively making it. I was gonna say, I couldn't remember if it was already made, in the process of being made, or gone canceled. I think the game I'm thinking of that got canceled is the sequel to Night in the Woods. That we're just never gonna get, unfortunately. No. What I mean is, what is brown butter ice cream? I mean, presumably it would be ice cream where the major flavoring component is browned butter, which I could see working pretty well, actually. Okay, so this is Model Land. I don't think I'm gonna survive Model Land. I don't think Tyre Banks, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I'm gonna survive Model Land. You can do it. You can survive. I've never had butter ice cream. Still need to play Night in the Woods on my backlog, my 27 game, but only 27 games? What if Model Land is Danganronpa 2x2? I won't survive Danganronpa 2x2. I can't wait for Danganronpa 2x2 to drop and for all of my, like, all of me or Marsh's characters to get immediately nuked from the game. Now that we have a voice cast selected for Danganronpa 2, it's gonna be Danganronpa 2x2, and it's immediately gonna be like the first 4 cases are gonna be like Mahiru, Mahiru, Nekamaru, Ibuki. Like it's gonna be immediately every single character I voice just insta dies. That and vanilla ice cream with strawberry and chocolate sauce. Still really funny that the VA for Gundam is a professor. We have to start. Please let most Starky characters die so Marsh can experience his own Danganronpa 1. The final cast is literally just it's like even the main character dies immediately, and it's just a Marsh being forced to voice the entire game by himself. Well, that's not fair. Monokuma almost certainly will still be alive, so I'll at least be able to do Monokuma in perpetuity. Because of course Monokuma is going to be in the Danganronpa game. Okay, Starky, I hit you with my favorite, some of my favorite jams, recent jams, and I do love my jams. Did you put Mambo number 5? I'll be honest with you, I'm still waiting for the day that he drops Mambo number 6, which frankly I hope kills all of us. Nagito will be the new MC. Do not put that evil in the world. I want that motherfucker in the Twink blender first thing. I have nothing against Twinks, I just do not like Nagito. He's an asshole. This is a Twink safe space, except for Nagito. This is a Nagito unsafe space. Number 5 is a fucking banger, don't I? I mean, it's not, I'm not saying it's not a banger, but it's definitely not a recent banger. That's, oh god, what are we at? Like 30? Recent isn't what I listen to. That's fair. Fair, I used to listen to it as a kid. It was one of my favorites, even as a child. Little bit of Monica in my life. Little bit of Sandra by my side. Little bit of Rita's what I need. Little bit of Tina, it's all I see. Little bit of Sandra in the sun. I'm upset that I can remember most of the names from Mambo number 5. Little bit of Jessica, here I am. Little bit of you makes me your man. I think I missed one name. I think I got the rest of them correct. Which I think is like a sign that the brain rot is terminal. Apparently the 5 is how many continents he's had sex on. I mean, checks out. That implies... Okay, so one of them's Australia... One of them's Australia. No. Why am I assuming Australia? I meant to say one of them is... Oh god, what's it called? Not Atlantis. Antarctica. There we go. Welcome on Nakamura. Glad to sweeping. What is wrong with my brain? Welcome on Brianna as well. Glad to have you. Mr. Worldwide before Pitbull. North Pole. There are 7 continents. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and then... Silly Starky, Australia is not real. God damn it, I gotta update my charts again. You can view Australia if you hold the map upside down. Oceania, not Australia. It's taught as being Australia here in the States.
Wretch, we're wretch, we're the wretch.
You know, it's surprising that Mom's the Mono wife hasn't made an appearance since you mentioned Monokuma.
Weird. I mean, so that's part of why the idea of like Australia as both a country and a continent is like a thing. Because in other locations, it is just a country, but in the States, we teach Australia as the continent and also the name of a country. Oceania is definitely the more like intelligent way of like thinking about it for sure. Intelligent, not here in the United States. 31. I feel like the fact that Amber has requested I count these means it's going to end on either 67 or 69. Like I feel like you wouldn't make the like specific request to be like be sure to count. Unless it like specifically ended on one of the funny numbers. It's a very US mindset, giving you guys call yourselves Americans, even though America's the whole ass continent. Yes. Correct. To be fair, we call ourselves, I guess to be fair, people from the United States of America are Americans. And I'm an American idiot. What about Canada? You can talk about Canada here. You just can't talk about the French. I'm kidding. I love the French. French people are great. They're not willing to deal with dumb shit. Speaking of the French, the next game on my to-do list is Expedition 33. It's a pretty good one. Don't insult the French. I'm not insulting the French. I would never. Because DA is watching. Probably. Why is Montreal obsessed with A&W? That's not Montreal specifically. That's all of Canada. Oh yeah, the French-Canadian Spider released a new game. Oh, Jol. It took me a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody get... Come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. Insult the French. The world's already done that for hundreds of years. Last week, stays cheap because talk is cheap. I want Angela, Sandra. Confused you. You know, you're gonna sweeter. Veronica in my life, a little bit of Andrea by my side. Here in Michigan, you're always near a 7-Eleven. That's A&W in Montreal. Hold up, I gotta sneeze. Oh, Lord. Hold up, that's not... France had empire and colonies forever. They can take some shade. Oh, for sure. Hold up, I gotta blow my nose real quick. Starky, if I could rope you back into Cractorio, the 2.1 updates on June and July. I mean, it doesn't really look like they've added, like, I've been watching. It doesn't look like they've added too much to its interest to me. I did see that they nuked, what's it called? They nuked space casinos. Starky looks like he's cut out for the approaching, yeah, it's starting to cover the entire screen. Also, related, but can we go back to murder whoever made June and July? Go start with J. It makes cataloging the most annoying. I mean, you'll be pleased to know that the guy who created July did in fact get stabbed. Also, the same thing with August. At least I'm pretty sure Augustus Caesar got stabbed. I'm not actually 100% sure on that. Welcome on, Crash Hall. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. January is also just J. Listen, there's so few things that start with J. Let the J's, you know, have something. They can have the months. Also, apparently linguistically, J is like one of the last words kids learn, like, develop an understanding for how to pronounce, which implies that it's like one of the more complicated ones. And the autistic folks will tell you if you're making a series, every entity should have a unique first letter. Think of the save reminder and the hydrate. Like, J censored because it's Starky's legal. It's my first name. My government first name does start with a J. I don't mind mentioning that one because like that one's at least like, you know, like there's 1,000 people with my first name, but like the one I'm much more careful about like never referencing is my last name because it is unique to the point of immediate doxing. Like immediately. I'm gonna head off for now. For sure. Thanks for stopping by, Guaco. Have a wonderful evening. World of Warcraft has warriors and warlocks. I love that Chris Fleming has screamed your name. Another ball hit there, Starky. Thank you for pointing that out to me. At 32, you know what's been driving me nuts about Backrooms and the obsession dominating the box office? The media obsession with the fact that both directors are Gen Z, as if that's why the movies are doing well. If both directors were 35, nothing would change when it comes to success. Iron Lung proves age focus groups have nothing to do with it. I would argue, actually, that age very much does have something to do with it, because it is... Starky's first name is Joker. He brought the card that Lou used for the bit. I did do that. Fun fact. But I would argue that age does have an impact insofar as that Hollywood has been stagnant for generations, like for generations now. I feel like we didn't get like a really, really famous millennial movie maker. It's kind of just been Gen Z and like Gen Z and boomers running Hollywood for like the last 40 years. So like it's kind of worth noting that like the instant that a new generation person, you know, someone from Gen Z did get a chance to make a movie, that it immediately performed well because it is actually being made with the knowledge of like, oh, this is what people want to see. It is in part their generational experience. I think if they were, I don't know any Gen Z producer. Well, there's two, the guy who made Obsession and the guy who made the Backrooms. I don't know their names. Yeah, we did. We got the person who did the annoying orange. I'm sorry, Busy Bee. I'm sorry that you have to carry that burden as a millennial. I don't know those movies too. They're recent, but they've done very, very well for themselves. Those are directors. Oh, okay. That one of those movieisms that I always fuck up. Has there been any millennial directors that come to mind? Because like producer credits, I think are a little bit easier to come by. I think largely it's because Gen Z saw what happened to millennials and we collectively said, I ain't fucking dealing with that. The Gen Z collectively was like, this is some dumb bullshit. They're gonna do the same thing to us. Let's just not care what, you know. Let's not give the remotest shit what you know, Gen X and boomers think and do our own thing. Whereas like to some degree, it's not to throw shade at millennials. I think millennials were. All right, put Justin Bieber in the fucking Backrooms, I guess. This I got hit by a fucking truck with this remix. Looping the rooms with Justin Bieber's Baby. Fucking criminal. I sat next to a 50-year-old when I saw Backrooms, but Hollywood is acting like only Gen Z are watching movies. Wait, how old are you? I'm 28. I'm going on 29. I'm like I'm like in that Gen Z millennial dead zone. I'm technically the first year of Gen Z. Starky's an unk. Shut the fuck up. Watch this be the penis edit. It's okay, Starky. He is. I hate my. Hey, I'm opening mod applications. I'm unmodding all of my mods. Anyone want to be a mod? I heard that the entities in the backroom were pretty passive in the movie, which one made sense because in the early days of the backroom there were no entities, yet it was inevitably added later. I think having the entities there makes sense. I think having them there, but like have them very much not be a presence, is kind of the best way of handling the backrooms as a movie. Because the backrooms are at their scariest when they are like that kind of dread, like building dread. Starky soon as Daddy Unk. I've already been called Daddy is the problem. But yeah, no, I'm in the first year of Gen Z. So I'm technically like a Zillennial. Like I grew up when they were just at like Facebook and MySpace and like Twitter were like taking off. I grew up watching YouTube videos instead of like, I mean, I watched a lot of TV, but I also did watch YouTube channels as a kid. The early days of the Call of Duty commentary channels with CNNers. Well, you can count Markiplier and waaaaaaay as millennial directors, also, both also YouTubers. Who the fuck is waaaaaaay? I'm gonna be 100% with you. That name means nothing to me. Is that 33? Generation B nothing to me is the fuck does someone from 1998 and 2009 have in common childhood-wise? I mean, so the common thread there is that both of them grew up during the developing age of, like, internet, you know, socialization, is the idea. Admittedly, it is one of those, like, continuum things. Like, I have more in common with millennials than I do with, like, a younger Gen Z. Have you played Superstar Saga? I played Bowser's Inside Story, and it fundamentally re-altered my brain chemistry. Partisan in Time is the best Mario and Luigi game IMO. Generational Fuse to me is pointless. I think within reason. Like, I don't have beef with people specifically, but I do have overall frustrations with certain generations. Millennials are kind of caught in the same shit that we are. So, like, by and large, I'm like, if I'm like, you put me in a room and you're like, prepare yourself, you're going to be talking to a millennial, I'll be like, okay, that's fine. Like, most millennials are relatively cool. You know? Maybe some cringiness, but, like, that's to be expected.
Apparently people aren't liking my desert jokes. The humor is too dry.
Boo, hiss. But, like, you know, millennial, nothing too bad. There's, like, some amount of, like, the millennial, like, cringe posting that's, like, annoying, but, you know. I'm sure I would get along with millennials on average relatively well. Gen X and boomers, I feel like I would have a significantly more difficult time with, because they're just so frustrating sometimes, man. There's just this, like, there's this level of, like, you know, not inhumanity, but, like, genuine disrespect for people outside of, like, their socioeconomic and age bracket that, like, is just fucking exhausting to deal with. Bring Her Back is one of those. The movie's fantastic for my own mental health. I never want to watch this again. I'll never be the same again. Like, I remember Gen X being angry at the kids for canceling Eminem and not providing valid points. The thing is, we weren't even fucking canceling Eminem. We were just like, hey, Eminem's new album sucks shit. Because it did. It was bad. Eminem's newest album was very much like controversy for controversy's sake without saying anything substantive. It's like, okay, cool. If you're trying to do shock content, you're like a decade too late. I don't fucking care. And then Gen X got so mad about the fact that we were collectively like, yeah, it's a bad album. Metallica and Eminem are washed up artists who Gen X love for some reason. Don't forget to throw Snoop Dogg on there as well. Even though growing up, all of my, everyone Gen X I knew was like, oh my god, Snoop Dogg's such a criminal. And then, like, you know, in the modern day and age, I hear a lot of, like, the people here nowadays who I hear still like Snoop Dogg are all fucking the, like, same Gen X who are like, I would never let my child listen to such dangerous filth. I'm glad Dido released a version of Thank You without Eminem.
We're the wretch.
Fun fact, did you know that Metallica hasn't made a good song in a year that starts with 2?
Honestly, yeah. We come from a land down under. Though Snoop is still fairly popular. I mean, yeah, but he's also a huge fucking sellout. To be honest with you, I don't actually, like, outside of the meme edits, which is more like, it's less like, oh, gosh, Snoop is so fun and cool and interesting. It's so much as it's Snoop is synonymous with weed usage. Like, that's the only time I ever see Snoop Dogg in the modern day and age. And, like, I'm not like anti-drugs or anything, but it is kind of pathetic that like the dude had like multiple decades of like dominance in the rap industry, and the only reason that like people give a shit about him anymore is because he is well known for smoking a lot of weed. It's like, my man, you had a platform. You could have said something substantive. I think that's kind of why I'm like, I actually adore oh god, why am I blanking? Kendrick Lamar. Because Kendrick Lamar used his platform to actually like make substantive commentary about like the structure of society, and I admire the fuck out of him for it. But like Snoop Dogg, it was just like, I smoke weed, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's real, it's cool. Thank you, Snoop Dogg. Anyways, that's been Snoop Dogg. I think like if I'd grown up kind of more in like the like heyday of the hip hop movement with like Biggie Smalls, I would have liked the music a lot more. But I think I kind of grew up in the poser era, where like rap and hip hop was kind of like co-opted by like the least, the least interesting rap artists at the, because it was like what, Snoop Dogg, Drake, My friends have shared a bunch of Kendrick Lamar songs. I just keep bouncing off of them. I don't know what it is. The thing with Kendrick Lamar songs is that they are very lyrically deep. Like Kendrick Lamar writes lyrics that are intended to be interpreted like 4 different ways at the same time, which is intense. But like once you get the breakdown and you're able to appreciate them, I'm like, I appreciate that, You know that what you don't have nostalgia for P. Diddy and R. Kelly? Yeah, I don't really have nostalgia for the two of them. Weird. Wonder what the remember the phase he failed to rebrand as Snoop Lion? Only song I liked of him was Sensual Seduction. It was a good song. Shame. With Scary Movies 6 in a nutshell, we're making shock and risque humor come back. No one is safe. Turns out it was an old man yells at cloud and somehow is. I think that's the societal thing about like shock humor. That's kind of been dead. Like, I feel like shock humor as a thing has been, it's like, oh, humor's illegal now, don't you know? Like, that's not the point I'm trying to make. It's the shock humor as a concept has been dead for like at least a decade and a half now. Where like, I feel like the Jackass phase happened where like the shock humor element of like these people are like putting themselves through like incredible agony for functionally like fame points, and then like it kind of just like disappeared out of nowhere. Well, I'd say out of nowhere, but like it's because like the world ended up going so shocking that like my generation at least got like giga bored of it. Shock humor peaked in the early 2000s and died with the internet. Yeah. Nowadays, I'm just like, oh, you're into shock humor? Okay, go ahead and just say the N-word. I'm like, okay, you're looking for an excuse to say some whack shit. I'm like, just say it. Like, you clearly want to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be like, like fucking like leaning up against the concept so hard. I think shock humor came back with the big with the internet usage, but it was decidedly juvenile. Oh, for sure. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I think spectacle YouTube videos a la the Mr. Beast brand are like going to be the next generation's shock humor, where it's like, it's a thing that happened. It was like a phase that we like society went through. And then we look back and we're like, how the fuck did anyone ever enjoy that? I think very much like the Mr. Beast, or like I stayed in like every hotel in like this small country to etc. Like that kind of content I think is gonna like, we're gonna look back on it and be like, how the fuck did anyone have how did this do well? Because it's just like substanceless, at least in my mind. I've seen zero content of Mr. Beast. It just seems like yet another loud, annoying white dude. His philanthropy comes across as a lottery winning rather than in bettering the human condition. I mean, hey, congratulations. You got it in one. That's basically what the case is. Mr. Beast be like, I made Squid Game from popular show, don't make Squid Games. He also had a gross humor face in the 2000s. Now fart marks are fart jokes, I think, can still be funny, but you can't. The joke can't be they farted. But no, you basically you basically hit the nail on the head there with like the analysis of the Mr. Beast brand, where it's like it's just kind of like icky. It you know. Which is like it was actually like what you know the Folding Ideas video where he talks about his time visiting the like operation genuinely is fascinating to me because it's so like as the biggest YouTuber you would expect that like he would have like some idea of like what he has created, but no, I think fundamentally there's just a lack of art in the consideration of like what they create. Shock Humor isn't dead, though. Scary Movie with 6 was written by people who take the words canceled and woke seriously. Naked Gun had it. Look up the dog scene or hot dog scene. Hell of Austin Has Been Hotel is huge. It's just, they're not being little babies about it, like the writers of Scary Movie 6. I'm trying to think of, like, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't think of a single scene in Has Been Hotel or Hell of a Boss that made me laugh because it was shocking. I was about to say, it's like, I feel like... I feel like okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to think of a single scene in Has Been Hotel, or I'm trying to think of a single scene in either Vivzy Pop thing that made me laugh in general. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I got nothing. I actually have nothing. I can't think of a single thing. How much did you even watch? I watched season 1 of Has Been Hotel. And then I watched, I think, season 1 of Hell of a Boss. I watched up until the point where Stolas got kicked into Impel for pretending to... basically, Stolas is homeless and bunking with Blitz. And then, like, that's the point where I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then I just never bothered watching it ever again. Even as new episodes came out, and I'm just like, who cares? Shock humor just needs to be used in moderation, like everything in life, because if shock humor was your only material, it would be tiring fast. Also, I'm sorry, but my cannibal pimp daddy can fucking get it. Hey, you're gonna have to be more specific, because that could be like 3 different characters from Hell of a Boss, like, alone. I mean this sincerely. I mean this sincerely. That could be 3 different characters. Do you have any idea how little that narrows things down? And, like, it's one of those things where it's like, yes, the writing is bad. No one's surprised that the writing is bad. Like, I think to some degree, like, the meta narrative around how bad the writing is like, actually fascinating. Because to some degree, it's wild to see, like, Vivzy tank it when she's one of 3 writers. And, like, she is by no means, like, a good writer. But, like, the other 2, definitely not helping. Obviously not helping. That was the last episode of the season. Okay, so I think I've seen season 1 of both, and I'm like, it's fine. The way I watched was the one episode where the ugly devil and Owlman fucked because the streamer I was watching at the time stopped everything to stream the episode. I mean, that's, again, do you have any idea how little that narrows things down? That is sincerely the plot of like 5 or 6 different episodes. It's one of those things, like, okay. The word I would use to describe Has Been Hotel and Hello Boss is textureless. Because it is one tone. It is one note. They've got one note. They got one bullet in their gun. They got a hammer and everything looks like a nail. That was the last episode of season 2. Okay. And like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you know, I recognize that it's not for me. Oh, Gussie! Welcome on in, Raiders! Yeah. Hold up. Well, welcome on in. For those who don't know, I'm StarkyMorph, big Chaos Girl Internet. Friday stream every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. What were you up to? I presume that you were doing some art yourself. Nice! Were you drawing big men? Were you drawing big, stinky, muscle gut men? Geeks, thank you for the follow. Welcome to live chat. What are you sweeping? I'm currently working on my own creature right now. I'm drawing this. Some of you might recognize this. Cyborg, thank you for the follow, and Shadow Wolf as well. Good to you. This is Astral, who I'm turning into an orb. We reacted to the DVD anniversary, but we talked a lot about big men. Excellent. It's right. Is the anniversary? Because I know we're getting the 10th anniversary of DVD. Is it going to be Jason, or is it going to be? Because I know we already knew that Jason was going to be happening. So is Jason okay? Currently, we're talking about Hell of a Boss, and like mostly I'm just complaining about the writing, which is like it's fine. It's just not for me. They're putting Scooby-Doo into Dead by Daylight. That's a joke, right? Okay. I could see it happening as like their outfits for different, like it's not literally Shaggy and Scooby. They're like adding like the outfits of like Fred, Daphne, Velma to characters in DVD. That's got to be what they're doing, right? Jason is going out tomorrow, but Art the Clown got confirmed, I think.
Wretch, wretch, where the wretch.
What's up, Chris?
Random fun fact. The mangaka for Witch Hat Atelier Kamome Shihama has worked on comics, so from what I've heard when creating Witch Hat, their target audience was outside of Japan.
Interesting. You killed me, Jason! They're putting like a Kigu of Scooby-Doo for Dwight. Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say it's like, I'm not anti it. I would just be very, very surprised if they literally let Scooby-Doo get hit by an axe. Like literally the character Scooby-Doo get fucking axe wounded to death. Like that would strike me as being a surprise from Warner Brothers. I think that's who owns it. I know it's Hanna-Barbera. Yeah, they're cosmetics. You see people getting pissy that they opted to use a real dog for the Netflix Scooby-Doo show, assuming it's a CGI and not knowing that a puppy Great Dane looks like. Imagine they made Scrappy-Doo the hunter. I mean, listen. You know, I as a kid, as a child, I did look at that Scrappy-Doo muscle growth scene with probably more interest than I think I realized at the time. With the benefit of adulthood, I'm like, okay, yeah, that was definitely someone's kink. Furry says Scooby isn't a big Bara killer. I mean, to be fair, it's also like, Starky had his revelations there. It was definitely not there. Actually, it might have been some of my revelations now I'm thinking about it, because that movie also had possession. Like, as a very, very recurrent kink. Like, the crux of the first the live action Scooby-Doo movie is basically ghost possession. I'm again, I wonder, like, is this the writer's barely disguised fetish, or is this the fetish of our generation because we saw it as kids? There's an AU Scooby-Doo comic where the zombies with Scrappy-Doo being a hunter. I mean, to be fair, the unfortunate difficulty of that is that Scrappy-Doo, i.e., like, I think he's, like, universally the most hated Scooby-Doo character by, like huge margin. Like, the next most hated character is, like, no one cares about. It's just people really hate Scrappy-Doo. Watching that Scrappy-Doo muscle scene, you're not kidding. That is some kink hiding in plain sight. Oh, it is blatant. With the benefit of being an adult, I'm like, oh, it is pure kink material. Soulvore, muscle growth, hypnosis, etc., etc., etc. Also, there was the scene where Shaggy gets boobs, which I'm sure that scene had to have been someone's egg crack, right? Someone had to have been like, someone had to have experienced egg cracking when they saw the Scooby-Doo movie and they're like, God damn it, I wish I had Shaggy's boobs. And like, to be honest with you, more fucking power to you. If you realize you were trans because of the Scooby-Doo movie, I respect the fuck out of that. There's a lot of fetishes in the first live-action movie. I can see myself naked scene comes to mind. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, got eyebrows, we got, and then just the rough, the silhouette. Shaggy experiences muscle growth and gender bend in the second movie. I thought he experienced a gender bend in the first movie. Did Shaggy experience did Shaggy get Rule 63 twice? Like, it happens in the second one. I might be misremembering then. Wasn't there a werewolf TF in the older episodes of the series? Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh no, there was definitely a movie. It's the one with the Hex Girls. He and Scooby are trying potions. I swear it's the first movie with the gender swapping. He in the movie with the Hex Girls, where the main villain turns into a werewolf at the end. They switched bodies in the first movie. And then the potions were the second movie, I guess. Oh, I should know the song. It's a remix of a desert theme. This does not ring a bell. I definitely would not, Also, it's got a slur in the title. How do I see what's playing? It is from Jurassic Park SNES, Mountain Ranges. Mountain Ranges. It's yeah, it's got a slur in the title. I have heard this. At least I think that term's a slur. Again, I'm not you know, the end all be all in terms of knowledge of slur usage. I know that Britain does it way too frequently because they use a slur as both the nickname for cigarettes and also like wrapped pork. Like it's like wrapped like they take like meat bits and wrap it up and then cook it and then they call that a pork slur. This is not a bit, by the way. I'm still fucking flabbergasted that it's a type of food over there in the UK. Welcome on and take. Let me sweet bean. I don't know if it's a slur just considered insensitive. That's fair. It might just be insensitive, which is like still not great, but you know. I have mixed feelings about that term. There's also a very, very famous house song with that in the title.
Wretch, wretch.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's also like a part of a genre of
Happy
music.
birthday, Daniel. Keep climbing the stairs like the aura monster.
Because there is a type of jazz that is, like, as with most languages, it goes through its own taboo-ness. There's a type of jazz which is literally like, you know, oh, come on, Ivan, let me sweet bean. Like, it makes use of that word as, like, it's, you know, I guess the more polite way of referring to it would be Romani jazz. Admittedly, the by nature of the fact that, like, it you know, the you know, the less preferred term starts with a J sound does sound a little bit less appealing, but it's kind of a banger. I respect it. How are you doing, Ivan? Can we just shout for Ivan? How are you holding up? I don't know, man. I try to feel... I just try to be like... I try my best to be respectful. Is like, because like to some degree I'm like, okay, like First Nations I think is the more generally like kind term, but then I've been getting these YouTube shorts of a guy and he's like, yeah, I'm Indian, and I'm like, oh, okay, and like definitely not like from India, like you know, like the native tribe, you know, or native people, Indian. And like his content is genuine, like his videos are genuinely fascinating. I'm looking it up right now on Reddit. Why would you look it up on Reddit? More like, how are you holding up after this? I'm dead. I have to study for my nurse exam. Love you guys. You've got this, Gusly. I believe in you. You're gonna be a great nurse. You be doing the shows. I mean, good luckers. Ganbate. Buena suerte. I did not realize that Gusly was going to be a nurse. I respect it. We need to normalize. We need more male nurses. I feel like there's like to some degree, like there's like a because I have to imagine men are going to be more careful, more male nurses, preferably gay. I mean, I think if I could do it all over again, my mom wouldn't let me become a nurse because she is a nurse herself, and she was like, no, you're not putting your body through that kind of like strain. But I think I would love to go into healthcare if I could do it all over again.
We're the Wretch.
What's up, Crisp?
Don't worry, Starky, no pun this time. I would tell you my construction joke, but sadly, I'm still working on it.
I'm so glad you didn't include a pun. That was really kind of you. Really, too many puns. Too many of them. Gay bear nurses. I'm just a gay bear. I think honestly, like if I could do it over again, I might do like law. I think doing legal stuff does sound like it, because I think I would like it would, you know, it's all logic based, but it's just like, you know, extremely applied logic. I feel like you know, I wouldn't necessarily say that all coders could become lawyers, but I think that they make use of a very similar like kind of neurological pathway. Admittedly, like it is one of those things where you need like a fuck ton of you know, going into law is definitely like a bit of a steep, you know, plan in life, because legal you know, school is not easy. Allied healthcare is an avenue. I'm graduating in less than 4 weeks as a massage therapist. Only takes 1 to 2 years depending on the hours needed, but there are certain health related jobs. I mean, I think like if I could, I would love to do like, so like one of the actual like, I graduated in 2021 with a degree in computer science and a specialization in artificial intelligence and machine learning. And I genuinely think that there are use cases for it that are good. And I think those use cases are actually really good in like the health field. Like, you know, using it as like basically a double check for diagnostic, or to do work that like doctors need to do, but is very, very tedious, that like we can just make machines do. You know, not doing all this generative bullshit, which I think is like a systemic abuse of the technology. But like, we're not having that conversation yet. Why did I turn into like a fucking, like, I turned into a chainsaw for a second there. Also, it's funny that those who work in IT have the programmer socks that are just long socks with fur patterns. Starky, have you seen Kinky Mation? Her community feels very similar to yours. It's decidedly even less subtle. I have not heard of Kinky Mation, but to be fair, it wouldn't surprise me. I like to think like I'm like we discuss kink. It's just like I always try to avoid letting it be horny. It's like, oh, you can be a little horny as a treat, but like just don't, you know, don't make it weird. Don't make it weird for anyone. You make sure this is comfortable for people who aren't necessarily kink brained. Thank you for the stretch, the save, and the hydrate. But no, I think I would love to go like, you know, like image detection, because like our accuracy for like detecting birds and images is still really bad. Like this is the kind of stuff where I think genuinely like there is like, you know, there is like genuine use case for this stuff. Oh god, no, stop. This might be my worst scan yet. That's a pretty bad one. That's like my neck is my throat. That was a dumb thing I said right now. But like, oh, have you seen the Star Fox 2026 remake? Are you talking about the new designs? Like that they're using they're basically using the VTuber models for, or is this like yes, the new designs? I quite like the designs, honestly. I can understand people's frustrations with them, but like I don't actually I don't mind at all. Oh, come on in, Phoenix. Let me be sweeping. Fox and Peppy have grown on me. I really don't like Falco's. I think it's the eyes. I can understand that. Also, about to run our first set of 3-minute... Our second set of 3-minute ads. We've been... Oh, God. I've been lining for 2 hours. Send a priest. The lying demons have started getting me. I remember Spy Kids. But no, I quite enjoy the new designs. I think the designers did a good job, like, trying to, like... Because to some degree, it's like they are trying to, like... It's like, I think everyone's always, like, you're always going to have the old designs, but I think it's difficult to, like, take a design that is as beloved by a very specific group of people and, like, reinterpret it in a way that, like, people are like. And I think the fact that, you know, to some degree, I feel like it leans a little bit more monster fucker than furry, and, like, there is a difference, but... Starky, my short discovery about the term is in the above message. This is complicated and kind of interesting. The G term is considered a slur by most Romani people in the U.S. territory. In British territory, however, it is actually preferred over Romani. Fascinating. Interesting. I did not know that. Can't wait to spend the $650 for Switch 2 in like 2 games. I'm not getting a Switch 2. At this point, I'm like, I would need someone to like, I would buy it like secondhand from someone else, but like even then I'm like, I'm not fucking paying like 300, you know, however much it would definitely like be to get a fucking Switch 2. When the new Star Fox was announced, I saw a Blue Sky post where someone was saying something about joining VC with a voice changer, and they TF into the character they were using it with the voice changer, and someone actually made a video about that. That sounds like something furries would do. But no, I think all things considered, I appreciate the direction they went with, and I think the new designs are good. And it's not like it's one of those like two cakes. It's like we're still gonna have art of the old designs. I'm sure. I'm sure people will be like, I prefer the old design, so I'm gonna continue to make art based off of that. Like, you know, the old design's not going anywhere. It's kind of just like a new design for a new generation. Look at Zelda. Yeah, exactly. It's like I you know, some people don't necessarily super adore the Hero of the Wild redesign, but I think it's great. How people prefer Wind Waker to Ocarina of Time, and it's like one of those things where it's like it's so clearly like, you know, taste based. There was a post where someone was like, yeah, I managed to break Breath of the Wild so that way it didn't load the toon shaders, or like the shaders I was using, and there was 2 comments that were like, I hate it and I love it. It's like they're fundamentally is like you are going, like, it's like there's people who are like, I hate it. It looks awful compared to the original. And there's some that's like, I actually prefer this in the original. And if I could find a mod that would let me do it consistently, I 100% would install it. It's like, I heard that they unamputated the characters in Star Fox. The characters were never canonically amputated. That was entirely... Don't get it twisted. That isn't entirely a fanon. Like, that's not a thing that they have ever, like... At worst, they were compression pants. Which, like, do exist, you know? But the characters' legs did not get amputated. People keep making art of the old designs. The Mario Galaxy designs are great. I think that's the biggest, that's the part where they fucked up the hardest, was like they had the Mario Galaxy designs, and then instead of like making the new design the Mario Galaxy design, they made even more new ones, which I think was just like the misstep was that they like basically debuted like they like by making the debut, like making it look like the debut was happening in Super Mario Galaxy with a new design, like people were caught off guard. They both, I heard mods, you know, I have a trouble getting into Ocarina of Time because I came from Phantom Hourglass and was like, ew, why do they suddenly have to get rid of the toon style? You really should have picked one and used it on both the movie and the... Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think, like, if they had gone back and, like, they're like, okay, like, hey, Illuminations, do you mind using this redesign? People would be, like, way more positively receptive to it. But, like, I also, like, that's almost definitely would never have happened because, like, Illumination, you know... A video debunking the prosthetic leg thing? How long is this? 40 minutes, yeah. I was like, we're not watching that, but, like, it has always been, like, the robotic leg thing has always been fanon. It has never been backed up by source material. I think the movie and the new games are very different, though. I can respect the problem came with the different pipelines. Yeah, it's like they were being redesigned for different things. Check DMs. I definitely I do love extremely this. I watched both of these in the movie, by the way. I watched I forgot about that line. Why do they have to say it with such stank, though? Also, the classic. I won't lie, I've forgotten that the original one was just have him expelled. At this point, my brain is so fucking meme-soaked that I assume that it was have him killed. Also, I think that the leg theory got a lot of traction because of game theory. And again, game theory, I think, is cultivated, like, game theory is up there with, like, the fucking, like, cinema sins in terms of, like, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse of, like, what's fucking called? Literary, fuck, it's something of, it's like one of those phrases that gets misused a lot. Like media literacy, like cinema sins, game theory, a lot of it ends up being like kind of like the four horsemen of the apocalypse from media literacy, where I would argue that both of them like have done kind of irreparable damage to an entire generation of people. That's not irreparable isn't fair, but they've done a substantial amount of damage to like the discoursive media in a way that like I think if I could kill 2 YouTube channels before they were allowed to do well, doing, you know, preventing cinema sins and I blame CinemaSins is definitely up there. CinemaSins, Game Theory. I wonder who the two other Horsemen of the Apocalypse are. Because it's like, I saw a meme of the scene just saying, Task Manager, kill him, and it's really real low res, and I love it. I'm sure there's like two other like classic examples. AVGN, maybe? AVGN to kind of a lesser degree. Nostalgia Critic would probably be more accurate. You know, like, you know, where he doesn't, Watch Mojo, yeah. Mr. Beast is too recent to be like, you know, to be like a perpetrator of like the crimes against, you know, media literacy. So yeah, my guess, Watch Mojo, Nostalgia Critic, Game Theory, and CinemaSins would be like my four horsemen of like media literacy apocalypse. Watch Mojo used dead YouTubers to promote. Yeah, I saw that video. Don't, you know, Watch Mojo has always been kind of a fucking content farm, but also like, especially don't watch any of their fucking piece of shits now. I do remember in like an era where like they just got in my recommendeds fucking constantly, and I couldn't get rid of them. And I'm glad that they've functionally, you know, committed optimization, you know, seppuku. Sudoku. But like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying that all of them are definitely shitty people. What I'm saying, if I found out tomorrow that the creator of all four of those channels are all deeply shitty people, I would not be surprised. Can we let family bloggers in one minivan? I mean, that's its own, like, you know, that's not a media literacy issue so much as it is like a you know, child abuse issue. Maybe Game Grumps. I think, here's the thing. I think Game Grumps is like so like, I would say like, you know, if you're looking, because like we're talking about like old Four Horsemen, so that would be like the original version with JonTron and Aaron. I feel like their takes are so comedically dumb that like you couldn't honestly engage with them in a way that like would be, you know, the entire point of it is that they're bad at video games. I know they're terrible so much as generic though. To be fair, I think it's one of those like Seinfeld is unfunny things where it's like at the time I think they genuinely were funny. Oh, we're talking about media literacy? Yeah. Where I feel like South Park? Yeah, I would put South Park up there as well in terms of like things that have done like significant damage to media literacy. Maybe JonTron was a horseman actually. I think JonTron styled himself too comedically. The issue with like Game Theory, CinemaSins, is that they were presenting their critique as like earnest, like earnest things to engage with, as opposed to like he was one of the pillars of the Scream reviewers. It's one of these where like I feel like it's kind of like swap it out, like it's either Nostalgia Critic or John. Like it's kind of like that class where I'm like, you know, Nostalgia Critic in my mind is just like the shorthand for like that style of like Scream at the, you know. I would lump I don't know Nostalgia Critic and AVGN together. Like I said, I think AVGN to some degree does merit like discussion in the conversation of like people who've done not necessarily great things in retrospect to the nature of discourse around media. Nostalgia Critic is worse. Let's use him. I think Nostalgia Critic is like the most emblematic. Because to some degree, AVGN is. I think there was genuine attempts to it's one of those things where it's like it focused so much more on like the absurdity and the anger that like the like trying to present it as actual like actionable critique kind of falls to the wayside. That had been like that. To be fair, that's very much like old school AVGN. Apparently, like. In its more recent years, it's been more or less like, you know, bought out and co-opted by I don't remember the name of it. It's discussed in the H Bomber Guy video about plagiarism. You know, removing artists from the artists, kind of funny how JonTron just happened to fall off in quality around when he expressed some controversial political views. Well, because here's the thing. I can kind of understand I can understand why it tends to be that comedians, because it's one of those things where it's like there is a desire as a comedian to double down on a joke. Is fundamentally they're looking at the joke and they're saying this didn't get a laugh. It's probably because it was appealing to the wrong audience or I just didn't deliver it correctly. And so you keep doubling down. You keep making the same joke over and over and over and over again. And it genuinely kills your ability to like make earnest comedy. Welcome on to Rev. Glad I was sweeping. You shout for Rev. If your YouTube kind of rewards edutainment more than just lectures. I've seen a few traditional lectures on YouTube, which really highlights how boring lectures can be. I think video essays, I will say that video essays probably aren't the standard for what education should be, but I think that they should be. I think there's probably some study to be done into why video essays succeed where traditional lectures fail. I vote Paul Brothers as one. Oh yeah, those are just assholes. Again, it's like one of those things where it's like, I think honestly, like any one of the people that has been mentioned, I'm like, I don't know if they're shitty people, but if it came out tomorrow that they were shitty people, I wouldn't be surprised. Editing is one thing I can... Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like editing fundamentally... Well, because it's like the difference between like... I actually wonder if there's like something to be like learned from like the college standard. Like one trick I learned earlier was to do a clipped red layer over the sketch so you can easily see where you already have lines when inking. That's a good point, actually. I'll have to think about that. But no, because like lectures are to some degree spontaneous. I feel like if lectures were moved more of a video essay format and then you still had like the recitations, which is the idea of like going in, trying to do the work for yourself and then like having someone there to help you work through problems that you experience. I feel like that structure of education would probably be like more beneficial. But like also to some degree, like education in the States is very much like basically like a, you know, furry tatas where? Oh, it was clickbait? I don't think I mentioned furry tatas. Completion, yeah, it's completion of the Pandorb. I specifically don't clickbait. I mean, there's a motion of video essays that keeps you engaged. Yeah, it's one of those things. Welcome on a reg. Let me get sweeping. As a whole, a lecture isn't the education really. Yeah, education is both the like it's the learning, but also the understanding and applying. Can we shout for Ray though? Also, welcome on Gigantic. What have you? I think Gigantic. Did you get a shout out? I can't remember. How you doing? I'm doing all right. Admittedly, definitely feeling the heat over here in the you know, the Midwest, but I am vibing and making it my way through the So you want to see some lovely war gray cake? Sure. I do know Calzoners has been doing a series of like various Digimon that I've been very, very happy to see. Stand as a poll. Yeah, it's been like 90 degrees lately and 60% humidity. I live on the 3rd floor. Oof. Yeah, there's a reason why like lunch for me this week is a fucking smoothie and not anything I have to heat up. Sent. I will probably check after stream. But no, we were mostly just complaining about like famous shitty people on YouTube. To some degree, that's kind of what it's turned into. But I think it's like fascinating to like look at, you know, like there is like I think like some amount of thinking that needs to be done in terms of like, you know, understanding why both they got popular as well as why that's a bad thing. You know, sometimes it merits studying the stuff that sucks so that way you can prevent it from sucking in the future. The four horsemen of the apocalypse. The Apoco analysis.
We're the wretch.
I'm asking for mod back, because I am already Pavloved into trying to shout out.
We already
Twitch
have like
is not compromised.
you have to. We already have like 4 people who are shouting out though. I specifically added the cooldown because when I would call for a shout out, there would be 4 mods that pounce and then we would get 4 shout outs. 24-hour people, a friend sent it to me. I can give you a mod back, but like also it you know, 24-hour people, party people, a friend sent it to me. It was perfect. Go home and sawed off. I've had enough parties. Here. To some degree, I'm like, I also love 24-hour party people. I have no idea what that is. Tumelo has a bunch of jams. Oh, okay, so it's a song. It's a song, sorry. No, you're fine. Chat's been like relatively active, so I'm like, it's possible that you mentioned it earlier and then I just I missed it. But no, I tend to be like, I guess I have a couple of like song producers that I think are really cool. Like I mostly like Jamie Page, Flavor Folly, like, you know, that kind of side of thing. One channel I would instantly erase off the face of the earth and Planet's Drama Lore for sure. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like that's, you know, that channel functionally got a person killed. And so like, you know, good fucking riddance. Deeply shitty person. I'm transitioning to my bed now. Peace, Cyberb. I hope you're having a great time to look. It's going all right. Most of this is line, but we carry through with the line. But no, you take care of yourself. You have a wonderful evening. I'm playing with the pets. But no, to some degree, like, I feel like there needs to be like, it's hard because the internet is like so deeply embedded in society. So like if you don't have the internet, you just can't function. But I do feel like there should be like the internet equivalent of the no-fly list, you know? Just be like if when you've proven that you like cannot use the internet responsibly, just fuck off, you know? I think it would require kind of like restructuring how the internet or how the society works without the internet. But like, you know, definitely one of those things where I'm like, could be a good thing. The greatest restart, basically. A Tunguska shaped hole in the... What the fuck is a Tunguska? Tunguska? Where's my brain trying to... My brain's like... I think it's because the way the fucking the word is shaped, where my brain is going to Tobuscus, and I'm like, there's already a Tobuscus shaped hole in the internet. The dude went bonkers. I think he went like Q? I don't know. Sorry if you grew up on him. That, you know, that ship sailed. You know the meteor that killed the... Wait, which one did that one kill again? I assume it's the dinosaurs. Because whenever people talk about the meteor that killed the blank, it's usually the dinosaurs. Because the dinosaurs, apparently, we need to constantly talk about them getting meteored to death. Poor dinosaurs, they deserve better. Who killed the dinosaurs? Me! It pulls out a gun. Pulls out a gun and a time machine. Oh, but I actually I kind of cooked with that line. Senator Armstrong killed the dinosaurs. That's why he won re-election. I need to play Revengeance at some point. I'm not ready for the multiple hours of cutscenes that I need to do to start the game, though. Like, I actually don't understand how people can play Kojima games if because to some degree the way that the way that what's it called Revengeance starts, it very much matches the way I hear people talk about other Kojima stuff, and I'm like, how the fuck do people engage with this? This is a nightmare. Listen, I'm not gonna be like, oh, my power fantasy, but also having like six different supposed to lose fights in the first like 2 hours of your game, not the greatest experience. A lot closer to the worst. No, the Cretaceous end by the Chichilub impact, the Tunguska impact was different. This is a nice song, ain't it? It's kind of a bloopcore. It's kind of blorpcore. Oh, it's the Stop Posting Among Us remix. So you're saying what I ate today? I've got like 40 minutes left, and I'm trying to finish this. Y'all trying to fucking distract me. How dare you? You diabolical agents of chaos. Alright, that's it. I'm removing your mod. Anyways, the Tunguska impact left the largest crater we ever found. Is that the Gulf of Mexico? Donkey Kong? Siberia? Oh. I know that there's like apparently like a lake of water beneath Siberia that like just has evolved like parallel to humanity. Like it has been in perfect isolation over like the last couple 100,000 years. All right. Let's see. Layer mask selection. Perfect. I'm gonna go with the slightly more saturated colors we got here.
Wretch, wretch.
What's up, Chris?
We're the wretch.
Who would win, the entire cast of Dragon Ball, Owen Peace and Naruto, or Mr. Rogers in a bloodstained sweater?
I mean, as much as it's a meme, the answer, like, as much as it's a meme that Mr. Rogers in a bloodstained sweater would be the most powerful, it's pretty obviously that it would be the entire cast of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball characters are, like, as close as you can get to, like, being infinitely powerful without literally being infinitely powerful. Let's see. Then get off the gray and get off the white and Monty Python and the Holy Grail's Black Knight. And John be the genie. That it's wild to with the benefit of knowledge, like hindsight, it is wild to know that is Neil C. Ciariga. That song was made by Neil C. Ciariga. Okay, so it's... Don't at me, I have the whole song memorized. No autism detected. Same man who declared two trucks. The two trucks having sex guy did in fact give us the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. I feel like the sentence alone could kill a small Victorian child. All right. Nose. Oh my god, it is by Neil C. Seariga. I never realized. Yeah, when I had that realization, I fucking lost my mind. I was like, wait, what do you mean that everything I've listened to as a child was Neil C. Seariga? Oh, I biffed it. I biffed it. I fucked it up. That's fine. Oh, him and his impronounceable, impossible to pronounce name. Okay, because I've kind of biffed how big the eye dots are. There you go. It's just easy fix. Easy fix. Is this feels like Danganronpa music. Oh, it's Kirby.
Wretch, wretch.
It could not possibly be farther from each other on the, like, movie
Remember, the
spectrum.
ultimate way to beat any power scaler is just by saying that whoever they pick is going to lose because your character is being played by Dwayne "The Cock" Johnson and he has a no-lose clause that Killetsu. Not Dwayne "The Cock" Johnson. Dwayne the Rock Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Let's see. Shout outs to Dwayne the Cock Johnson. No, do not shout out Dwayne the Croc. Dwayne the Croc. Dwayne the... Dwayne! I don't know. I know that there's some meme involving a child named Dwayne. And I don't know what it's from, but I do know it exists. And therefore I have to make it all of your guys' problem. Because I have no idea what else to fill the auditory space with. The silence is deafening. An old, the dancing child from the Barbie movie? An old movie? No, the one with the Oppenheimer? I don't think it was Oppenheimer. I think that came after. It was definitely an old movie. I love when Kirby music gets weird with it. Kirby's all over the place. Kirby simultaneously has, like, the best soundtrack, and it's, like, profoundly inconsistent.
The start is always like, yay, friendship, happy feels. Then you get the O2, then you get to the oh shit part where you open a portal to hell and reality is breaking down. Yeah, that's Kirby games. That's Kirby games for you. They'll do that to you. You never see it coming. Except for you see it coming every time, because at this point it's like, that's just, you know, that's just part and parcel. That's just the experience. All this happens because Kirby tripped and dropped his cake. Okay, that's not fair. Kirby got his cake stolen, and then he had to kill a group of rats who stole it, and then he got to fight one who was being possessed by an ancient primordial evil, like you do, and then he got revenge for his cake. And that's Squeak Squad. There's the plot of Squeak Squad right there for you. Fun fact: Ronald McDonald's a class traitor. I mean, he has been for like a while now. What do you mean? Like only recent? Like, like, you know, fork found in kitchen, etc., etc. You say it like it's you say it like it's more like it is more comprehensible still. I mean, okay, what do you want from me? Do you want the fucking lore breakdown for the Kirby lore? Because I'll fucking give it to you. You don't want it, but I'll give it to you regardless. The fact that Kirby is technically an eldritch being powered by friendship and happiness. At least that's the implication of Star Allies, that, like, you know, that Kirby is from a like a race of people that are like infinitesimally powerful. So you say this like you wouldn't watch you do a lore break on the whole Kirby timeline. We've watched you do a mass stream. That's a fair point, actually. That's a fair point. But also, why did you do that? I still have not gotten like a very clear answer on why why people were so into the mass stream.
Wretch, wretch, we're the wretch.
Using the mere power of words, I can give mental images, like watch this. I am about to give you all a mental image. Ronald McDonald and the Burger King sloppily making out naked on the kitchen floor while their wives Wendy and the Dairy Queen walk in horrified by their infidelity.
I won't lie, at some point those went from being like words to syllables. Yeah, at some point my brain just gave up on trying to understand what the fuck was happening in this scene, and I'm like, well, there we go. There we go, ADHD kicked in. You underestimate the power of my ADHD. Especially because I'm trying my best to fucking... Grandma Nut would have been fine with it. Who the fuck is Grandma Nut? Is that like Baby Nut? The time that the Folgers... It's not Folgers. The peanut company that is obsessed with they turned into a baby for like, hold on a sec. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Grandma Nut from Candyland. Why is my chat like this? I know it's like, well, it's like, oh, chat reflects the streamers. How did we get here? Grandma Nut is from a Candyland or Legends of Advantris. Chat, can we get here I how ask? The answer may surprise you. What the fuck was that sentence? Hold up. Let me clean up the wings real quick. Because I do want to make sure I get this done today. Again, this is stuff I probably should have done, like, you know, in the sketch layer instead of just figuring this out mid-line art. But also, like, I am getting better about, you know, not fucking running it live and figuring out shit in the line art all the time. All right, what in the world is this? Okay, so it's a Legends of Advantress thing. Because I recognize the clown. I love the flat fuck gator. The fucking hitting it with the Akira style hour sounds like. Hold up. I'm waiting. You get this one for free. You get Gabriel Ultra Kill and Hour of Silence but for free. But hold on, I had to put song request back on. Also, I gotta disable ads real quick. Or not ads. I wish I could disable ads. Also, watch this. I'm so close to having this piece done. Why are my mods so insistent on distracting? Thanks, Gabriel. There we go. That was. Do it. I feel like Torbeck would be one to commit, like, mass slaughter incidentally. Okay, I do respect Grandma Legume. That's genuinely a good joke. All right. Then we just gotta paint the legs and the hands, or color the legs and the hands, and then the ears. Don't legume too quick now. Kaleo was made for kids with polio. Fascinating. Somehow that makes sense. I couldn't tell you why it makes sense, but I do know that makes sense. Hey, Stark, you gotta show you something else? No. No, you distracted me enough. We're so close. Do not edge the art. The art edges you. Some things just fit. If you could briefly view this 12... Absolutely not. I hate FNAF. Okay, I would like to point out for a moment, your plan to distract me is to silence me, i.e. the thing that I was, i.e. even more justification to not say anything? I need you to, like, think about that one for a moment. The fuck was censored in that sentence? FNARF? Exactly. You got it, you got it. You got it in one. Let's be fair. It wasn't me that added it. It was one of my mods. But also, like, I did let it happen. Right about chat's desire to distract you. We're getting meta. Go ahead and refund yourself, because I'm not doing that. It simultaneously is a distraction right now when I have specifically said that I do not want to be distracted. Oh, I guess to be fair, like, I don't mind being distracted, but also, like, specifically distracting in a way that, like, I can't continue the artistic process. But also, like, you know... I was doing a bit. It was colorful and imaginative to distract them with the pieces being so easy to move that they could play it, which sadly made it a terrible game outside of that situation. I suppose that's fair. It is like the most deterministic like board game. Where like once you've drawn your first card, the winner has already been decided. What is happening here? Why is this single pixel? It's all right, we're doing two trucks having sex. Okay, it was what I thought it was. We're entirely sex. Having sex. Two sex, having sex. Look at this non-Blue Jay card. Oh, come on, Cuba. It's gonna be Sweet Bean. Oh, come on, though. How you doing, you Sweet Bean? Currently, we're working on a little bit of the art. Oh, no, stop. This is the face I make when you spill some fucking hot goss to me. I'm like, he did not. That stank bitch. There we go. Bird drink the tea. Listen, I've been known to par sip of the tea. Sip of the tea, but in a par way. As opposed to like a, you know, a subpar or, you know. I always hitting that party. That you see, it was a joke because it's the party sounds like party. This song is so fucking stupid. I love it, but it is undeniably the dumbest thing that I think Neil has ever created. Neil C is just a wild guy. He really is. Brody Quest is dumber than two trucks, Lamau, in my opinion. I saw a comment, if Neil CC on his genre had a meme, it would be gaslighting. This is like if you used a Mad Lib to write gay bar. Like, this is 2 trucks, but every 4th word is replaced with sex. I haven't even seen. I didn't read what was put into the queue. I just know this off the top of my head because I've listened to this too. I've listened to this more than once, which I think is like a sign of probably like severe emotional instability. Oh god, I keep noticing little things to do. Too big sex, and then they bust on my sex to get my sex like apple pies. You wouldn't be the first. Me when I burst on apple pie sex. Shia LaBeouf. A classic. Actual living, actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Like, quiet, 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 quiet. From Shia LaBeouf. Shia surprise into his head and death in his eyes. Average Tuesday night for Shia LaBeouf. Buff. Sonia stump leg. I remember when this released, and it was just like a fucking. It actually like did kind of break the internet for a bit. Fuck, that's hold up. Okay, there you go. Select that. He's the only one who's clapping. Is one of the better parts of this. He's the only one in the audience. All right, I think we're gonna make it, but only just barely. Oh, actually, it's the same color as his hair. I never noticed that. You were heading out just before the time you'd be headed out to as well. Bye bye, for sure. Thanks for staying around, Big Magician. Okay, I do need to add the lining for where the fur splits here. Boy, just because listen, I need that shirt back. I got things to do tonight. I can't just go outside without a shirt on. But it is warm. You know what? You actually make a compelling point. So it's this color. I think I was on the wrong layer for those. Let's see. All right. I think this looks pretty good. I want to thin out this line art a little bit, just because it's a little bit thick. It's thick to the point of distracting. Which is not what we want. All right. You know what? This is the second we've had tonight. I appreciate the self-control. There we go. We end the night on this. Yeah, this seems like a reasonable way to end the night. Here we go. We have to add new layers. Let's see, hide that. One for the, let's see. Do you ever turn off phrase? I did. All right, and then we got to add one more thing, which is the material. Paper. I think this is what I use. Oh, and then there's one other thing I got to add yet. Which is, I add the little eye highlights. This might be the worst one, Oceano. This is up there. Papering the digital? Well, because I like the texture that it adds. Doing it just digital makes it all look too flat in my mind. Quirk, welcome on in. Thank you for your subscription for 7 months. Enjoy the emotes, you sweet bean.
Wart, wart, wart.
Wart, wart, wart. Welcome on in. Glad to have you. Currently, we are actually just wrapping up here. I'm sure you can find worse. That's not a challenge. It's not a challenge, you understand. It all depends on you. I'm not gonna challenge you to find something worse. Hold up, I'm gonna do a little, just a little something. So you failed to finish on time? You are correct. I did fuck up. Because I wanted to add these little... There will be consequences. Of course, there's consequences for everything. The consequence of setting alarms is you're going to wake up on time. Okay, perfect. Export PNG. And then export one without the let's see, without the signature. All right, perfect. All right. Well, that a little bit longer than 3 hours, but I guess we felt like, yeah. I'm gonna thank you for hanging out. Here, let me go and put on the outro playlist and find out who's live. Hopefully it was a nice kind of comfy Monday to get you kickstarted on the week. Let's see, I have too many windows open, as is tradition at this point. But let us see who's live. My God, there's a lot of people live today. It's kind of bumping. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Is Marsh live? I don't think so. It has been a hot minute we've raided into Marsh, but I don't think he's live at the moment. Here. Let's raid over to... I'm the worst. This is like the worst part of... is like trying to figure out who to raid, especially when there's so many people going on. You know what? Let's raid Rory. You use my emotes or whose emotes you happen to have. We're gonna raid over to Rune Blue Panda. Because it's been a hot minute since we've stopped by their stream. And he is currently playing some Sonic Crossworlds Racing. But anyways, if this is your first time here, I'm StarkyMorph, big Chaos Crowd Internet, variety streamer live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. EST. Mostly we play indie games. Over the last 2.5 years. We've been learning smart, so if you'd like to see more of what you saw right now, as well as to see like more, because you know this is a very YCH style thing. I do non-orb art projects. I just have, I've had 2 in the queue, and I want to get those out of the way prioritize them. We got the blue sky. If you'd like to stay up to date with the stream, including when I'll be going live, as well as to see art that I make, art that I get commissioned, general ramblings, all that good stuff. We got the YouTube. We'd like to catch up on the VODs there, see the artistic development, as well as to catch up on the Danganronpa 2 VODs in time for Danganronpa 2 tomorrow, which is what we're going to return with Marsh. We're gonna see who Nagito decides to finger. Old slang finger specifically. We also got a Discord if you'd like to pop in there, say hi to all Sweet Beans, see the cards come to the Sweet Beans post, and a coffee sponsorship if you'd like to pick up some coffee from Dragon Roast Coffee. Discount code StarkyMorph over there to get 10% off, help support the stream, get yourself some really, really high quality coffee. Highly recommend it. But yeah, I love you guys to bits. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will catch you tomorrow for Danganronpa. Thursday I have no idea what my Thursday stream is going to be at this point. We'll figure that out. And then Friday will be more art. I love you guys. See you then. Bye.